Any second now.
We got 6 people waiting. Oh,
all right, let's go. Let's go. 5. Yes, going live. So we'll be up there. So just watch us here, but we're on a delay here. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Hey. All right, junkguysdfw.net. What's up, guys? It's Ricardo, your neighborhood junk removal service owner, the OG of junk removal. So, hoarder houses. Let's talk about that really fast. But let's get a little few details about when you have to estimate a hoarder house and having to communicate with your employees, with the customer about getting into a hoarder house and knowing what you're really going to charge. Okay, kind of having that idea that, am I in over my head? Do I know what I'm doing? Is this something that I want to get into? Is my business prepared to really handle a hoarder house? Okay, so that's one of the things that we're going to get into, and we're going to get used to all these windows being open like this. Okay, like the whiskey, a little whiskey. You got a little whisk. Okay, I'm just adjusting windows here, guys. Giving a few people to get on.
Lost.
This boy did his. Look at Maddie. Maddie's right here. Yeah, Maddie's right there. This boy did his hair.
Oh, you know my hair. It's always done. Always.
All right, I got a little thing here. Maddie texts me, you owe me money. What's he text me? He texts me that. Yeah.
You probably do.
I do owe him money. Guys. Oh. What did I do? That's me doing something stupid. Hold on. Yeah, I do.
YouTube again?
Yeah, I just lost it because I was doing something stupid. Hold on, guys.
Hold on, Facebook.
Let me open this up.
We need to get on Twitch, too.
Where am I at?
So unprofessional.
Unprofessional, dude. Goofy ass stuff. There it is. Okay, we're still on.
No way we're related. Oh, it's good.
We're good. Okay, so I touched something. I apologize. You see? He says I owe him money. See? That's all he texted me. My son texted me. He said, text me. Homie. Yeah, homie. Nick, what's up, man? Does it smell? Oh, yeah. So whenever you're doing a hoarder house, of course, hoarder house smell. And the whole problem with hoarder houses is when you're a small business and you're a small entrepreneur, you just started junk removal, you really don't know what you're getting into. And this reminds me about a story of MJD, the first hoarder house that I took him to. And I told him, hey, do you want to come to this house? Let's take a look at it. And he was like, okay. And his eyes lit up when I opened the front door and he just looked around. He just never could have imagined what he was looking at. It was something. And then he turns around and asked me, he goes, he said, do people actually live like this? And I said, brother, you haven't seen anything yet at all, okay? You haven't seen anything. Even Maddie, who I took him to his first hoarder house in Frisco, Texas, Maddie was just, the whole time he was tapping me on the shoulder, do they still live here? And I'm like, Maddie, you haven't seen anything yet. This is not the worst one. There's not a real way to price a hoarder house. You just need to know that it's got to be one price. So the only thing you don't want to do is tell the customer too much information. What's up, Brandon? You don't want to give the customer too much information about the services that you do, okay? You want to clean the house and that's it. So let's get that through. When you do a hoarder house and you go into the house, and don't be overwhelmed. Don't show the customer. Don't give that nervousness to the customer. You know what I mean? Because the customer's never been through this. The attorney hasn't been through this. The landlord never has done a hoarder house. A hoarder house is something that's very unique. It is something that comes around once in a lifetime for a person, unless you're into hoarder houses like us, right? So this is not something that comes around very much. So they don't know what to expect. But as a business owner, don't be an idiot. Go in and act like you know what you're doing. Okay? Go in there and act like you know what's going on. Give them the timeline. Tell them when you can clean it. But the best part about it, and this is where everybody messes up. is that they tell the customer, we charge accordingly to every trailer that we pull from here. And then you'll say something like, every trailer that we're gonna pull from here, we charge $500. It doesn't make no sense to do something like, we're gonna use 10 trailers, which is $5,000. Don't do that. When you're doing a hoarder house, let me tell you what to do, okay? Give one price for everything. One price for everything. Just say, it's $5,000, I'll start tomorrow, let's get it cleaned. You have to have an idea in your head when you walk into the house that you're seeing everything, that it's one price, okay? Let me read. The best is when they say they got the, yeah, no. Yeah, and that's true, Nick. A lot of people will say that. They'll say, hey, it just got like this last week. Oh, it's only been like this for the last 3 weeks or 3 months. No, this has been like this for the last 20 years. And I decided to do this video about hoarder houses. Listen, if you got any questions before I go into my story about hoarder houses, go ahead and ask really fast. We're watching the Facebook Live here, and then we're watching the YouTube here. But ask me a question about hoarder house if you need to before we start going into any details of the biggest story. And that's why I brought my brother, Alex. What's up, Alex? Introduce yourself, buddy.
I'm Alex Hernandez, Richard's brother. We've been talking about doing this video for a while.
A long time.
A long time.
Years.
A lot of people have been asking him what's the nastiest job he's done. Mm-hmm. And it was with me.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much what I'm here for, to talk about.
Till this day, the job I did with you is the supreme, the omega supreme of all jobs.
Bad.
I did it with him, okay? I've done really shitty jobs. I've done them with Maddie. I've done them with Jamon. I've done them with other companies, but the worst was with you. I've had so many hoarder houses, and if you look at my YouTube channel, you're gonna know my history, that there is about 4 that have been 10s. They're gold. I mean, they're gold. They're hardcore 10s where you walk in and you want to throw up. But the one that me and you did,
it wasn't really a hoarder house.
It was bad.
It was.
Oh,
like,
hold on! Don't tell him. Don't even give cookies. A 10 gold. The one me and him did was the Omega Supreme.
Nasty.
The worst one. So people ask me all the time, Ricardo, how do you know when it's a hoarder house? Now, it's not going to come out of my mouth. It's going to come out of my little bro's mouth right here, okay? I'm in Terrell, Madison, so what's up? Kind of laggy. Oh, is it kind of laggy? Is my YouTube a little laggy, guys? I apologize. I'm running high service right here. Let me just look into this really fast.
We got the.
Yeah, we got.
We're
on turbo right now. We're on turbo. Hey, brother. What's up, Bearded? So, this is my brother, Alex, and I'm going to tell you what happened. He had been working with me about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, right?
2 to 3 weeks.
We got a phone call from a young man, and he told me, hey, I have a situation in my apartment in Dallas. Would you come by and clean it? And I said, I'd like to give you an estimate on it first. I told him. And he said, no, just come and clean it. I'll pay whatever. Now, needless to say, this was a while back. I did not know my pricing. And that's why I'm doing this video for anybody who's new to this channel, new to junk removal, new to entrepreneurship. I had no effing idea what I was doing, bro. No idea, okay? I was getting into this business. Listen, guys, I'm also on Facebook. If you want to jump over to Facebook, because it looks like my YouTube channel is a little laggy here. Why, I don't know. Everything's connected properly, but I apologize for that.
I say you were like a year into junk removal.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah, so I really never knew how to price a hoarder house. I had no idea.
We didn't know what we were walking into.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were walking into. So I asked Alex, let's go do this house. Let's get ready, get dressed, and I'll let you take the story over and just give details of what happened. And I want you to understand that most of these people are veterans, and some of them are new to this business. Thank you, Nick.
So this is the 3rd week on the job, right? I probably like my 3rd or 4th job. I don't have much experience yet. So all we're doing at this time is we're just picking up junk at different places, different houses, wherever it is. So we go to this guy's apartment, right? We open the door. The first thing that hits me before I even see anything is the smell. The smell hit me right away, and I was like, "That's not normal."
And it was dark.
It was dark. You could barely see. He didn't have any lights on. It was very dim, like very dark. And the smell hit me, and I was like, it wasn't like a smell you want to throw up. It wasn't like a make you gag smell, but it was like, there's something like very rancid in here. It was just not healthy.
Yeah, I guess that is the word, rancid.
It was rancid. I've never smelled anything like that since that day. Like, it was just nasty. I won't forget the smell.
Right.
But I haven't smelled anything like it since that day. So we open the door. The first thing that hits me is the smell, and I'm like, oh, God, okay. And then Richard walks in before me. I smell it first. He walks in before me, and then I see Richard look up.
I stop. Yeah, I stop. Let me say this part. I stop. And my eyes don't adjust to what I'm about to see. My eyes are playing tricks with me. Let's say you're walking down the street and someone comes and mugs you. And he's wearing a yellow shirt and pink pants, and he hits you and he takes off running. Then all of a sudden when you get up, your eyes didn't adjust to what happened. The cops come and they say, hey, what kind of clothes was he wearing? And you're like, black on black.
Yeah.
This happened to me. Let me tell you, when I walk in his apartment, I get that smell, but I'm like, hey, I got to act like I know what I'm doing. I walk right in and I look for the disco ball in the house. In his apartment, he had a disco ball. That's what I thought he had in the apartment. Because the walls were moving, Bubby. I'm thinking this dude's got Mick Jagger dancing in this place. He's got Saturday Night Live, John Travolta, is about to do. Yeah.
That was bad.
And my eyes adjust, and all of a sudden I look again, and I go, Alex, tell him.
So we walk in. Richard looks up right away. And he like pauses. He looks up. He goes, and he put his hand on me, and I'm like, what? It was dark, so I'm like, what? I look up, and you just see the walls move. Back and forth. The walls move. And you're like, oh my God, those are roaches. They're roaches.
Yep.
Not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40.
Right.
50 to 75 at a time, just moving like birds in the air when they move in the same direction, scaling the walls. And I look at Richard, and I'm like, no way, dude. And Richard's like, we got to do it. We got to do it. And I'm like, at this point, I'm questioning the job. I'm like, this is my third week on the job. We've been doing junk removal. I'm like, does he do extermination on the side? Or do we come here to do like an extermination job? And Richard's like, and the guy's like, he's there. He was there, right?
Yeah, the apartment, the guy, the owner of the apartment, yeah.
I was not paying attention to him at all. I was just so shocked. He had just trash bags lined up.
Yeah. That's right.
Trash bags everywhere. I didn't want to touch anything. I was so scared. And he had fish tanks, like 2 fish tanks. And the house was dark, but the fish tanks were lit up. They had light in them. And if you look close at the fish tanks, all along the top of the fish tanks, it had no top on them. The fish tanks were just open, and along the ridges of the fish tank were roaches all around it.
Lined up.
They were lined up just all around it. And, man, I'm looking at this house, and I'm thinking, I'm like, we're in America? And I'm like, how could somebody live like this?
They did.
I'm like, this is not a third world country. How is somebody living like this? Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. I'm in shock at this point. So Richard's like, let's go. Let's just start taking stuff out. And I'm like...
at this point, Alex, I had you with me, and I knew you were overwhelmed.
Was.
And I was overwhelmed. I just didn't want to tell Alex.
Mind you, I was very young, too. I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
19, 20.
It was absolutely ridiculous. Listen, by the way, guys, my YouTube channel is running really laggy. If you want to go over to my Facebook page, Facebook Live is running really, really good right now. So if y'all want to jump over to over here to Facebook, yeah, do that, because something's wrong with my connection over here. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to mess with it. So I'll be talking to my Facebook crowd right now for a little while. So I was overwhelmed. Immediately I was overwhelmed. The smell, that rancid smell, the movements of the wall. And I'm going to tell you something. When I walk into the apartment, you know what I start doing? I'm like, I look and I saw over the mast of the doorway the roaches lined up. They were lined up in a military style attack.
It's bad, man.
And it was absolutely horrible. Horrible. And these aren't just normal roaches. So you had like 4 sizes. You had the house roach. You had, hey, wow, that's a big ass roach. And then you had the roaches that are those water bugs. And then you had the National Geographic fucking roach, bro. This motherfucker was this big.
He had all sizes though. Like
he had all sizes. And they were all connecting and talking to each other.
It was so bad, man.
I go into the house, and this is exactly what happened. Alex puts his hands out, and he's like, are we going to do this? When you put your hand out like this. I turn around, and I go, yeah. I look, he's got a roach on, remember the roach on your hand? And I
had one on my glove, yeah.
He had it on his glove, and I immediately look, and I go, what the fuck? And I slap it. I turn around, we look at our feet, and this is when he ran out. Or is this when you threw up? What happened first? Did you throw up? Or?
I walked out real quick. And then you came out there and talked to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this, bro. This is disgusting. You're like, we got to do it. We got to get over with. And then I went back in. And then we worked for a while. Then I needed a break, like 20 minutes in. I went outside and threw up, and you just told me, like, just stay out here for a while.
Yeah.
I took a long break.
But
I did throw up. It was bad.
Our shoes, we stopped. After he threw up, we stopped the junk removal, the Hoarder house. We stopped there, and I told him to run to Home Depot, get some duct tape, and just tape ourselves up. Some bags of trash. We got bags of trash. We taped ourselves up. And then I started working. But I started throwing stuff out. And I'm going to tell you, I think about this, and I know I'm telling the story like it's normal. It's not normal for me. This is not normal for me. Even talking about this, because this happened about 10, 12 years ago.
I got PTSD from it, dude. It's bad.
I grabbed a dresser. It wasn't a dresser. It was like a little end table.
Like a nightstand.
Yeah, it was a nightstand. And when I grabbed it, and when I tossed it out and it landed, tell them what happened. Oh, shit. So, I'm just thinking about that day.
At this point, I didn't want to go inside. So you were tossing everything to me, and I was just throwing it on the truck. I was outside. So all the furniture was bulky, so we had to break it down, right? So you threw me like a dresser, and then you threw me like a nightstand. Both of them, I had to break them down in the hallway of the apartment right there. And it was really bright outside. So the first one he throws me, right away I grab it, I'm scared, so I slam it on the ground to break all the wood. I slam it, right when I slam it, roaches just come out of it, and it's light, mind you, but the sides of the apartment building in the hallway are dark because the light's not hitting it, so they scatter immediately. I hit the ground, the sun hits them, and they scatter to the sides of the wall like vampires. And I'm like, oh my God, I already feel bad for his neighbors. I'm like, I can't imagine his neighbors.
Can you imagine his neighbors?
Yeah, I can imagine his neighbors. Every piece of furniture we broke down out there, they would scatter to the walls.
The walls.
They were, it was bad.
He had a brand new Sony, the brand new Aveo when it first came out. It was a plasma TV, and plasma TVs back then were slim and none. They were hard. They were very limited to see. They were just limited edition. They were expensive TV. He had just bought it. And I told him, do you want the TV? He said, everything's got to go. When I gripped the TV, I can feel the roaches crawling in my hands. I gripped it and I could feel it, and I said, Richard, it's got to get done. This is your first hoarder house. You don't want to bail on it. You have a lot of people counting on you. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea. But I grab it and I move it. When I move it out of its place, roaches.
You can hear them crawling.
You can hear them crawling. I think there's disbelievers out there. I think
it sounds like it was like out of a movie. I'd never seen anything like it. It was terrible. It was bad. It was really bad. Like you think of it, and you're like, okay, maybe there's like, you see a couple roaches climbing up the wall. They were in packs, man. They were in packs, like.
They were like wolves.
This much, just like crazy. There was one point in the bedroom, we were taking one of the beds out, and I lifted up the bed. They all scurried underneath me, and we had to walk out with the bed. So I could feel myself stepping on roaches when they were running by. I was stepping on them on the way out. It was bad. It was bad.
I remember going into the toilet, going into the restroom. He wanted me to remove some little table that he used. I don't know. And looking at the toilet and noticing that the roaches were using the toilet as a pool. They were literally jumping in, swimming, and getting out and jumping back in.
I never went in there. I don't even know.
It was something that you couldn't believe until you actually saw it. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. This is a true story. Yeah. It was something that when you see it, you couldn't believe it. And that's why I got you on. I wanted you to tell the story.
And she had like all those trash bags. They're full of like Pepsi. Every single bag was full of like.
So give a description when you walked in the door. Where were the trash bags at? That were on the right and the left?
They were lined up all against the wall. Like wherever he had wall on his house, there was just trash bags lined up, and there was like a couch and then trash bag, just lined up everywhere. And man, it was bad, dude. It was bad.
I remember walking into the kitchen to remove some plates. And the plates were black. The plates were black.
Yeah.
And when I grab a plate, the plate was white. Because there were so many roaches on these plates. It's absolutely horrible. I saw them, and you think it's funny, right? That it's a resort. They were out there at a fucking resort. They were. So he had a picture frame. This is how bad it was, okay? I'm trying to explain to you how bad it was. There was a picture frame. They would line up on the fucking picture frame's edge, bro. And there's that little lip that the picture frames have, that little lip. It comes out of that, like this. They were lined up on it.
Jesus Christ. I feel like...
I don't... This is the first time we've honestly talked about it. In 10 years about it. And the reason is because I just thought it was nasty. It was gross, bro. It was gross.
I was pretty traumatizing. I was just like, I just couldn't believe people could live in just like that filth. I've seen, we did other hoarder houses after that, like hoarder houses that were full just of junk.
Yeah,
junk.
debris
and
and
there
trash.
was a ratch and a rote here and there, but it was just junk, whatever. Okay, whatever, we picked up all the junk in the trash. But this guy there was just roaches, dude, like roaches everywhere. You wouldn't believe, like you couldn't touch anything without a roach jumping on your glove. And every time I went outside or I was outside, I was like tweaking. I was like, it's roach. Roach on me.
Yeah.
And even that night, I remember vividly that night when I went to bed, the whole night I had trouble sleeping because I was like, anything that touched me, my pillow, I was scared it was a roach on me. Golly. It was pretty bad. And I don't like roaches to this day.
So he told me he didn't want the fish tank. I remember. And I want you to understand this because y'all are going to go, no way. No, this happened. Yesenia, the smell of roaches is a horrible, rancid smell. Yes. The fish tank was about like this big.
Two of them.
He had 2 goldfish in the fish tank. Now, I want to tell you that these roaches were smart. They're very smart roaches. They communicated like wolves do in the wilderness. In the Himalayan mountains, they were communicating. These roaches were communicating in Dallas. The roaches were lined on the outside of the fish tank for a reason. Because if that little goldfish came in for water, they would jump in and grab him. That's why they were lined up, bro. And I feel sorry for those goldfish. They were in a jail.
That water was dirty too.
Oh, dude, that water was so dark. It was foggy. There was fish in there swimming around. These roaches were so smart that they wanted to jump in the water and get them. You know, an exterminator could not have fixed this problem. No, exterminator couldn't fix it. He'd be overwhelmed. Yeah, he'd kill a lot. But I want you to imagine this much, a huge tile, a piece of tile this much, and imagine roaches on it. Then multiply that by 100, because that's what we saw that day. Thousands and thousands and thousands.
I remember like previous jobs we had done with you. Like, I only had done like 3 jobs, but the previous jobs, every load we picked up, we dumped it either that day or the next morning. Mm-hmm. But that day when we did the roaches, we threw everything in the trailer, and it was hot. It was the middle of summer. It was
so hot.
And the next day you were like, leave it in there. Leave everything in there. Don't touch it.
Let them
all
burn.
The roaches die. Let them burn. And we left all that stuff in there for like 2 days.
It was about 105 outside, or 102, something like that. So in the trailer it was about 130.
Yeah, they definitely died.
They definitely cooked inside there. If radiation can't kill them, 120 degrees was going to kill them. That's what I was figuring. It was just a display of
I threw my clothes away, dude.
Yeah.
The clothes we worked in that day, I threw it away.
We had to. So let me tell you what ended up happening. Here's why I messed up. The overall price, we removed, oh gosh. And it's embarrassing talking about the price.
Bad.
So we only filled up 1 trailer. It was a hoarder house. It was a 14-foot trailer that day that I took. But I want everybody to understand how much I charged for this, okay? I gave them a price for the hoarder house, which was couches, end tables. What else? What else you want?
Honestly, it wasn't that much work.
It wasn't that much work.
It was like the couches, the tables, a bunch of trash bags, but it was already packed up. Right? Yeah. The trash bags already packed up for us. TVs, dressers, mattress and stuff. You know, like, honestly, the job probably took us like an hour and a half. Maybe. Yeah. But
tell them about the beer cans.
Beer cans? What beer cans and Pepsi cans everywhere.
Everywhere. The whole floor was blue too.
And
because
he had a lot of cans sitting out too.
Yeah.
Every can had a roach.
I think he would. Yeah, every can. So the roaches were drunk. So he would take a sip, set it down, and a roach would come by it. So he'd stop drinking it and open another one, take another sip. That's what I thought he was doing. Because a lot of the cans were full. They were like 75% drank. Full, and he only drank about 10 or 20% of the drink. So let me tell you about the conversation I had with this guy. And you saw it outside. You saw what I did to him.
The dude was weird, not a normal guy. He was very enclosed. Tell he wasn't just a normal dude.
And guys, I'm an outspoken person.
Yeah.
I say how I feel. I always say, hey, this is wrong, this is right. I told him this. I said, as I was walking and we're almost done, I said, bro, I can't believe someone lived like this. Man, this is weird, bro. How long has it been like this? Remember? I said, how long has it been like this? Can someone really live like this?
I felt bad.
And he said to me, I can't believe someone lives like this. I told him, there's no way someone actually lived like this. When was the last time someone lived there? And he goes, I still live here. I said, excuse me? He said, I still live here.
I overheard it. I overheard y'all talking because I was outside breaking down stuff, and I was throwing stuff in the truck, and I overheard it. And then you came out there, and I was like, no shit. He just still lives here. Like, he slept here last night. And Richard's like, yeah, bro, he still lives here. And I was like, there's no way. There's no way a human could live in there. Like, there's just no way. It's just not, like, no living conditions for a human being. It's crazy.
I asked him, you're blow up on this one. And you thought I was fighting the guy.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. We're almost done. And then I asked him the big question. Why are you cleaning the apartment? You remember what he said?
Yeah, I thought he was moving out.
Yeah. He said this. We thought he was moving out. I asked him, why are you cleaning the apartment? He goes, because I just got a girlfriend and I want to bring her over. That's when I turned around. This is exactly what I said. Tell me that you're going to bring her over. Here it goes. This is the conversation, okay? I go, So, hey, by the way, why are you cleaning the apartment anyway?
Well, I just got a girlfriend, and I wanted to bring her over for the first time to my place.
Look at me, sir. Don't you ever fucking bring a woman over here ever in your life. You hear me?
You grabbed it too.
You said, what's going on? You said, what's going on? I said, sir, do me a fucking favor.
I thought he tried to rip you off of the job.
No.
I thought he didn't want to pay you.
No, I was grabbing him and I said, don't you ever in the wildest dream think of bringing a woman over here.
He was cool with it.
He was so fucking cool.
Yeah,
he was.
He was kind of shocked. He was like, okay.
Yeah. I said, don't think about it. Don't let that go through your mind. Don't do it, man. And he was so cool with me. He said, yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Maybe I'll rent another apartment. He said that. And I was just like, this is crazy. It doesn't end there. I want you to tell him after we were done where we went immediately.
Oh, we went to Quick Trip right away. And we
Right.
washed up, man.
The car wash.
Oh, we did go to the car wash.
Yeah.
We went to the car wash, then we went to Quick Trip. I forgot we went to the car wash. Oh my God. I forgot about that completely.
Yeah. Tell him what we did.
No, we stripped naked down to like our drawers.
Yeah.
We sprayed each other with the things.
Yeah.
With the
So we opened
sprays.
the doors on the
Forgot
truck.
about that.
Yeah, we opened the doors on the truck. So if you have a double door truck, the doors open like this, right? We opened them both and we both got in the middle. And I got the gun from the spray of the car wash and we just started. We took everything off. We got all the way to our underwear and we sprayed each other off and I drove home. I drove home in my underwear.
Oh, you're forgetting the good part.
Oh shit, I fucking totally forgot about
that.
that.
Was the best part. I laughed.
Okay, so the reason we pulled it into the car wash was this. I get in the car, everything's cool, we're driving off, we're talking about humans shouldn't live like this, and then all of a sudden, don't forget, I had my ankles taped, I had my hands taped, I had my neck, no, seriously, I had my neck taped. It was like this, and I had duct tape around it. They're not getting in, bro. They're not getting in.
It was like some ghetto hazmat suits.
Yeah, there you go. All of a sudden, I feel something crawling up my leg on the inside. And I'm like, oh shit!
He's driving.
I'm driving!
And I started laughing because I think he's playing around. I think he's joking. So I started laughing.
I'm like this.
He wasn't joking.
I pull over. And we pull over to a car wash. That's the reason we ended up. And I grab it and I'm holding it. I'm holding it and it's right next to the nutsack. I'm not going to lie to you.
I really thought he was lying.
He thought I was kidding around. I pull into a car wash, just happened to be a car wash, and I'm holding it in my hand. I take the tape off. I start taking the tape off like this around my waist because I had tape around my waist. And I reach in with my other hand and I go like this, grab it.
Thing was huge.
That's how big it was.
Was that big? It was big.
That's how big it was. It was a National Geographic limited edition, needs to be in the Dallas Zoo, roach. This big, guys. It's one of those roaches that has those scales on the back.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare. It's not funny. Heidi, it's not funny.
Oh, it was funny.
This was a horrible nightmare.
Oh, it was funny. It was funny.
And MJD, I remember me and Jaman, we did a house clean out about maybe 6 months ago, and he said it's absolutely nasty. He said, oh my God, this is the worst I've ever seen. I said, no, the worst I ever done was with my brother. Every time someone asks me, what's the worst you've ever seen? I always, automatically, it's that one. It's the Omega Supreme of fucking roaches, dude.
I've never seen anything
close
equivalent to it at all.
At all.
In any other profession or like anything at all, like I could just watch somebody throw up in front of me. I'm like, it's still not as bad as the roaches. Like, it was just terrible, man. It was terrible, and that smell, just that smell.
That smell stayed with me. I remember going. We sprayed each other down. You know what's funny is he had turned around. We were taking turns spraying each other down at the car wash with the doors in between the doors. He turns around. He goes, scrub my back. I said, no, I'm not going to scrub your back. He goes, scrub my fucking back. Scrub it. I can feel something. I'm like, what is wrong with you, Alex? I said, there's nothing on your back. I have to get the brush down.
I was tweaking.
He was tweaking, bro. He was out of it. I got the brush, and I start rubbing his back with the brush, and he goes, get it, get my hair. I start doing his hair. He's like all into it. Oh, my God. So I said, fuck it. I might as well do it, too. I turn around. You start rubbing my butt. I mean, it's like we're taking a shower and scrubbing each other down like hippos. You know how hippos at the zoo, they do, on hippos and elephants, they use that? That's us, man.
That's true.
That's true. They do that.
There's a lot. I totally forgot about the car wash part,
Uh-huh.
and I think that my brain, I was just traumatized that day.
PTSD.
There's a lot of parts that my brain's like hiding from me. Like it just blocks out a part of my memory. Like there's a lot of parts I forget that you're talking about. And I'm like, that's right. That I just don't want to remember because it was bad.
Alex refused to work with me for about 4 days after this, and then started working back with me. And his first question was, I never want to do a hoarder house again.
Which we did later on.
Like a year later.
We went on the show.
Yeah, we went on the show, Hoarders.
We went to Houston.
Yeah, we went on the show, Hoarders.
That house was bad, but...
No, it was nothing like that.
It was just trash. It was just trash and junk and a rat or two, but nothing like the roaches, man. I
just remember I went to my girlfriend's house 2 days later. So that happened like on a Thursday, and then Friday, and then Saturday I went to my girlfriend's house, and we were going to a movie, I remember, and she said, what's that smell? And it was me. We were at the movie theater, and she smelled me 2 days later, and I smelled like fucking roach, bro.
On your skin?
On the skin, bro. It like got in like veins and my cells. It was in the skin, bro. It was like oh, dude, fuck, dude. I get chills even talking about it, man. It's miserable. We should have done this video. I did this video because I want people not to make the mistake. So here's the price.
Here's the biggest mistake.
God.
That job was like at least $2,000 job.
No, okay, so these days, I would have priced that job at $5,500 to $6,000. $5,000 to $6,000.
Because of how gross it was.
Because of how nasty and the infections of hazardous math.
Now, if there was no roaches at all, it's like a $500 job.
$500 job, easily.
Yeah.
Okay? But there was roaches, there was AIDS in that place. I priced it as an astonishing $400 to complete the whole job. $400.
It's because at the time you were doing everything by truckload.
Yeah.
Like you fill up the truck, it's $400. Half the truck's $200, whatever.
$400. That's what I charge. This is what the guy does. I said, sir, I'm done. It's $400. This is what he does. He gave me $400 and he tipped me $400. He gave me a total of $800 for the whole job. He said he was very thankful for it. You kept the change. Tell him how many quarters you found on the ground and you were fighting the roaches to get off the quarters.
No, I found in one of his couches, he had, I guess he forgot, and we didn't tell him, but he had a bag full of quarters.
Right.
A bag full. And it had like $80 in it.
$80 worth of quarters.
Yeah. And there was no roaches inside the bag, thank God, but they were on the outside. Yeah. But yeah, the dude was he was a bit of a weirdo, yeah.
You know, I don't want anybody to make that mistake, guys. Roaches, hazmat, there has to be an extra price to that, of course. Now I know that 10 years later. Yeah, and it took me 5 years to get my first hoarder house anyway. I mean...
Well, we learned our lesson. Because the next hoarder house we went to, I remember we went to Home Depot, we bought the hazmat suits and everything, and then we went in and cleaned it, we were like... It's not bad. Like, we didn't even need the suits for that job. Yeah. We needed it for the roach job really bad.
And honestly, it's like a horse. A horse jumps over the fence. A horse jumps over the fence. Finally, they whip him, and then they put the fence, and the horse stops jumping over. That's what happened with us. We learned our lesson the first time. We jumped over the fence into that fucking roach infested. We stopped jumping. We put on suits. You know what I mean? We learned.
Yeah.
We're like fucking horses, man.
It's actually the smartest animal.
Yeah, they're really smart.
Dolphins.
Yeah, smart. Anyways, if you're new to junk removal, you're a veteran, like a lot of us that are watching right now, I want y'all to know that you have to realize that I had made a mistake 10 years ago pricing my first hoarder house ever. It was a $400 estimate. Price that I gave. I gave him $400. He tipped me. He actually felt sorry for this retard. And he gave me $400, $800 plus the $80 that you took. That you even asked him if he want. Finally, you asked him, "Hey, I found a lot of change." He said, "No, it's yours, and keep it." He said, "Keep it." I don't know whatever happened with that apartment. I don't know. He said, I kept this from you, but he said this comment to me. I remember. He said, I said, why do you have so many roaches? He said, they don't
bother me. He said they don't bother me.
Yeah, you remember that, right?
Yeah, he said they don't bother
He said they don't bother him. They leave him alone. We have an understanding.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. I remember.
He said, we have an understanding. Fucking understanding do you think? Look at us, man. We're overwhelmed by this right now, and we're talking about this 10 years later. What kind of understanding can he? Was he the roach whisperer?
It's not like the apartments were like low-income apartments.
No, they weren't. No,
they
weren't.
They were like, you know, like I would say, middle America. Like they weren't super cheap, but they weren't super expensive. They were right in the middle.
We've done hoarder houses with a lot of cats. We've done hoarder houses with a lot of rats. As a matter of fact, this is a hoarder house that we did. And Maddie is in this video too. It was a group of people that joined in on this.
Only YouTube can see this, right?
Yeah. And this is a hoarder house that was really pretty bad. It had rats. It had an assortment of just roaches and stuff. Look at this. Maddie's showing me the spaghetti sauce. That was from 1980.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Bertolli.
Yeah.
I'd rather deal with rats, man. Rats won't crawl on you. They'll leave you alone.
The mayonnaise was over 15 years old. I remember that. And, we're watching a clip. Everybody on Facebook, it's on YouTube right now. It's running like crap anyway, but stay on Facebook. You're better off. I'm just running a clip of another one that we did a while back. He found a gun. Look, he's holding the gun. He pointed it at me. Like the idiot points it at me. He really does. Yeah, I'm his dad and he points it at me. Yeah, so it just, hoarder houses come in so many different ways. You're going to get someone with rats. You'll never get what happened to us, the roach thing.
What made it worse, I'll tell you what made it worse now I'm thinking about it. It was a small apartment.
Yep.
It was on the first floor, it was small. So everything was so compact, like the roaches were together, dude. Like, so it wasn't like a big house or a big apartment where it was like, it was a couple here, a couple here. They were all together, just like, man, I just can't explain it. Like, you'd have to be there.
You'd have to be there, man. You'd have to, and
so
it's frustrating to me too because I'm like, I want to express myself too and tell them, but yeah, you have to be there. Anyways, don't make that mistake. When you're doing a hoarder house, especially if you're local, just call me. I'll come out, help you out with the estimate. I mean, of course, you're going to make your money. Just don't make that mistake because I made that mistake.
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
You remember Men in Black 1? One of the bad guys, he's like a roach. He's
right,
made of roaches,
roaches, right.
And all the roaches come
out of him. Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it reminds me of that.
Golly. Oh, I get chills.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Do not make that mistake. Pricing hoarder houses is a special thing. I am really good at them now. I've done over 30, 40 hoarder houses now, and I know I teach people how to price them. I've taught Jamon, I've talked to Brandon about it. I've helped other junk removal companies price hoarder houses. I will tell you something that I've actually got an online course coming out pretty soon in the next few weeks. I have an online course that will be coming out. You sign up for it. There is a cost for it, but we haven't really figured that out yet. Look at the rats here. Look at the mice right here. But this course, if you get this course, it will change the way you price estimates. There's over 110 videos on this course. 110 videos. None of them like my YouTube channel. These are all educational tools that you will eventually need if you're starting this journey in junk removal. I'm going to tell you guys, it will change the way you do business. It will change. You'll go in more confidence when you're going to a junk removal because you know why, because you watch one of my videos. I've been doing this for over 15 years. You saw those mice, bro? Look at those mice. Look at those. Oh, my God. Yeah, those are baby. Maddie caught them. There is so many things I'm going to have on this. How to give estimate. What the He's got a live ride on him.
It's like a marsupial. Look at it.
How to give live estimates, how to do garage cleanouts, hoarder cleanouts, trampolines, hot tubs, step-by-step procedures to everything. And that's just one small group. There's like 30 videos of how to, and it shows you how we walk you through the steps. But overall, we walk into a hoarder house that's in Dallas, Texas, and I talk throughout it. I narrate and I tell people, hey, this is the way to do it. So there's online courses will be coming out pretty soon, guys. If you need some help with them, you know, just throw me an email. I'll let you know when they come out. I'll shoot you an email saying, hey, they're about to come out any day soon. And you know, for people that need help on this, I know there's a lot of veterans that still need help. And there's been people actually that stay in business for 2 or 3 years and still have not done a hoarder house, and we're watching one right here. Facebook, y'all can't see it, but it's on my YouTube channel.
This is very overwhelming.
Yeah, very overwhelming.
When you walk in, you're like, no. You're like, nope.
Yep. It's a very.
That's why you have to price it well.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, and guys, of course, like I said, my online courses are coming out soon. If y'all need help, let me know. Shoot me an email. I'll tell you when they come out. But I want to thank you, brother, for coming out. My bro came out over here, drove really far to come out here and do a video with me. I really highly appreciate that. And you know, just the experience is the first time we've talked about it really in depth. Really.
Yeah. No, we mention it all the time.
We mention it all the time.
Go to the roach house, yeah, but we never
really talk about it. Anyway, guys, I also want to thank my crowd in YouTube, and I apologize. The connection's running really shitty. I'm gonna have to look into that. I had no idea. I tested it when I first started. It's shitty.
Roaches.
Yeah, it's the roaches. The roaches are in the damn YouTube channel. And I want to thank everybody on my Facebook Live. I don't do this live ever, but thank you so much for staying tuned. Don't forget, guys, if you like my videos, subscribe. This was the story of the worst hoarder house in American history for us.
Terrible.
All right, good night, guys. Thank you very much, okay?
That went by so fast.
There is about a fucking hour, dude.
It went by fast.
Man, this thing.
You don't want to talk